All right, so in today, the A's agreed to trade for reliever of the Cubs, Andrew Chafin, and I think it's a pretty decent trade. We definitely need bullpen arms, so I think that's pretty good. The trade hasn't technically been finalized because the A's are reviewing his medical records, but I think it's a decent trade because our bullpen right now has been struggling. You look at the past couple of games, and yeah, so. Basically, Chafin in 2021 is a 2.06 ERA in just about 40 innings pitched, 39 to be exact. He has 37 strikeouts, 12 walks, only one home run allowed, 21 hits allowed. So, not terrible, but then again, he's only pitched, 40 innings. And if you're a reliever pitching, at best, I guess that's a decent amount of games, but not the most. He did play for the D-backs from 2017 to 2019, so his time with the Cubs has been short. Yeah, he was all right with the D-backs. Obviously, they're not a very good team. He has had injuries, however, so a sprained finger made him miss most of the 2020 season, albeit it was a short year with only 60 games. He isn't the hardest thrower. He throws around 92, 93 miles an hour on his fastball, but he does have a pretty good pitch combination with a sinker, slider, four-seamer. So now you might be asking, like, what do the A's have to give up for him? So the A's are sending two players. They're sending Greg Diekman. I think that's how you pronounce it. Not Jake Diekman, but their prospect outfielder, Greg Diekman. He was actually number 9 on the preseason community prospect list. He was in AAA this season. But, he was average, I think. So, yeah, and it, obviously hasn't been finalized, so we don't exactly know all the details of the trade, but we do know it's going to be Diekman, Greg Diekman. And so he was a second-round draft pick in 2017, so he hasn't, he's an average player, I'd say. He isn't, like, a great arm. But, I think the A's bullpen right now has some solid arms, that, like, including Lou Trevino, Jake Diekman, Yusmeiro Petit, Sergio Romo, obviously. So, if he can, step up, be an alpha with those guys, I think that'll be really good. He's earning $2.75 million this year, and he has a mutual option for 2022. So, he'll become a free agent if either side declines. So, I think, he's got some swagger. He's a pretty good, solid pitcher. Obviously the A's never really make big blockbuster trades during these their times because they're very cheap when it comes to getting bigger guys, but he's all right. He's a lefty, and I think he's all right. He's got a this year 2.06 ERA, like I said, 0.94 whip, so pretty good. He's 31 years old, so he's a veteran for sure. He's got good experience. He isn't necessarily a rental. So like I said, there's the mutual option. And I think he's worth the money. I think he's a pretty good pitcher. I've heard really good stuff about him, just looking at notes and stuff like that. But I think, losing our number 9 prospect the number 9 prospect is, a little bit disappointing, because he did hit pretty well. But I think, pitching is the most important thing. I think our hitting is solid. I think that could be improved as well, but I think also this trade isn't finalized, so we'll see whatever happens. But that's pretty much it. The A's get Andrew Chafin from the Chicago Cubs, left-handed reliever. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on this trade, and hopefully we'll have more interesting trades to come that benefit our team. So see you guys later. Go A's.